on YouTube, coming back with my next top 10. So today I wanted to do my 10 biggest surprises of the tournament so far. And up to this point we are through the round of 64 and then through, I believe, 2 games in the round of 32, Duke beating Yale, and then Wichita State losing to Miami. So this is my 10 biggest surprises from the first round of the tournament so far. And at number 10, I've got Wichita State over Arizona. So Arizona just came out kind of flat in the game, turned the ball over way too much, 19 times to only Wichita State's 5. Wichita State got decent efforts from Ron Baker, Fred Van Fleet, as well as Connor Frankamp, the Kansas transfer, and Marcus McDuffie off the bench. So it was an okay shooting game for Wichita State, shot about 40%, but did come out with about the 10-point victory. So at number 9, I've got Yale beating Baylor. So Baylor just, again, came out a little bit flat, didn't get as many boards as they were expected to, out-rebounded by Yale, and Baylor is one of the more athletic teams in the country. Torrin Prince had a huge game, coming up with 28 points, shooting about 50%. Like I said, they just weren't able to get on the board. Rico Gathers didn't have a very big game, and like I said, Baylor was just set up very well for the upset that game. So at number 8, I've got Duke's close call to UNCW. So I didn't think this game would ever end in an upset. It was very close. It was a 13-4 seed. Now, Marshall Plumlee really bailed Duke out that game. They were shooting very poorly from 3 while UNCW could not miss from 3. Duke was able to get, like I said, a big effort from Marshall Plumlee. I think I said Mason the entire time. And also got a huge effort from Brandon Ingram, had a very good game as well. Able to put up 93 points as a team. So at number 7, I've got Jaylen Brown's dud performance against Hawaii. So I really think if he had had a big game, then Hawaii would have ended up losing that game. Cal was very short-handed, missing Jabari Bird, as well as a few other people that actually were ruled out during that week. So I think they were a little bit unprepared going into the game. Jordan Matthews, one of the big players on Cal, also had a huge game, and Ivan Rabb had a pretty good game as well. Like I said, Jaylen Brown, just a dud performance, 1 for 6, ended up fouling out, only had 4 points. And you know what? When you're the star player of your team's hot heading into the tournament, you need to keep playing the way you've been the entire season. So, like I said, not a good turnout not a good show out for Jaylen Brown in that game at all, and led to their upset against 13th seed Hawaii. At number 6, I've got Sabonis and the Zags heating up. So Gonzaga was able to beat Seton Hall by a pretty comfortable amount, about 16 points. Domantas Sabonis had a big game, I believe. I know he put up a double-double, 16 rebounds and 21 points, and he's just been he's been going off the last couple weeks, and I think he's showing that he really should be a lottery pick in the draft. And Gonzaga looks very well heading into their game against Utah, I believe today. Let me check and make sure that's actually today. Yeah, 7:40 p.m. tonight. So, like I said, Gonzaga's looking pretty good heading into the rest of the tournament. I actually did pick them to beat Seton Hall, but I didn't know it was going to be that big of a difference. So at number 5, I've got UNI's buzzer beater against Texas. Now, if this was top 10 best moments of the tournament so far, that would probably be number 1, but it wasn't that big of an upset, and I didn't really know how to slot this, so that's why it's kind of in the middle of the list. UNI over Texas was not that big of an upset. It was still a 6 versus 11, so it was a little bit, but I just loved watching that game. If you guys did not watch it last night, UNI was able to hit a buzzer beater to win the game 75-72 after, I believe it was Isaiah Taylor hit a running floater against UNI that looked like it would send the game into overtime. And like I said, UNI was able to hit the buzzer beater and really show why March Madness is a thing. So at number 4, I've got Josh Higgins and UALR excuse me, beating Purdue. Now, that game destroyed a lot of people's brackets early. I know a lot of people in my group ended up having Purdue at least in the round of 32, if not the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. Teams that are looking good heading into the tournament with a hot big like Purdue had with A.J. Hammonds normally fare pretty well in the tournament, but they got nipped in double overtime, 85-83, and a big win for UALR. Like I said, Josh Higgins was huge that game, shot about 50%, had 31 points. So, very clutch performance there. At number 3, I've got the 13 first-round upsets. So this kind of culminates into one crazy first round. And the 2 days where you saw upsets spanning from Middle Tennessee State to SFA to UNI to UALR, it was really a crazy day, and there are no perfect brackets left at the end. Or I believe drawing to the end of yesterday, there was only one left, and I don't think there are anymore. If you guys saw my round of 32 predictions, I also showed the best bracket left on ESPN, and even that one had Michigan State making it to the Elite Eight. So Michigan State and West Virginia losing definitely hurt a lot of people's brackets. But that continues into my number 2, and I have SFA over West Virginia. Now, I was high on SFA coming into the tournament. I knew they were good. I didn't know they were that good. West Virginia just couldn't get any consistency under their belts. Seemed like every time SFA was pulling away, West Virginia would make it close. But you kind of knew in the back of your mind that SFA was going to start pulling away again. Just not a consistent enough effort rebounding for West Virginia. It seemed like really the entire time the only person getting any rebounds for West Virginia was Devin Williams. He was able to put up 12 and 17. Obviously a solid day, but I mean, you got big games from a lot of guys on Stephen F. Austin. I believe that Thomas Walkup had it somewhere in the ballpark of 33 points, able to hit the line, or able to get to the line a lot. Also put up 9 rebounds. Also got decent days from Demetrius Floyd. I'm trying to look through here. TJ Holyfield also pretty serviceable that game, shooting pretty well. And overall, just like I said, Stephen F. Austin not able to get, or West Virginia not able to get to the boards consistently enough. They out-rebounded Stephen F. Austin so much, but the ball just wouldn't fall for West Virginia, and they turned it over way too many times, 22 times. It seems like that is a recurring theme for teams that got upset. I mentioned that with Arizona, and West Virginia turning it over 22 times, only compared to Stephen F. Austin's 6. You eliminate those turnovers, they might have won, but they did lose 70-56, so it's not like it was extremely close. And then at number 1, pretty much everyone knows at this point what it is, and that is Michigan State losing to Middle Tennessee State. Monumental upset, one that I don't think anyone saw coming. Again, Michigan State just, I don't know, they really got outdone by Middle Tennessee State. Mid-Tennessee State couldn't miss, shot over 50% from 3. Really weren't great on the free throws, but shot 55% total. And like I said, able to shut down Deontay Davis to a certain extent. 10 points, not a whole lot there. He only played 15 minutes though. Denzel Valentine had an okay day shooting, 5 for 13, able to pick up the double-double with 13 and 12 though. And, you know, Matt Costello, big day as well, putting up 22 points and 9 rebounds, shooting 90%. So, like I said, Michigan State just was not the better team in that game. It's not like Middle Tennessee State won by some fluke. They shot unbelievably well. Reggie Upshaw showed that he was the best player on the floor that night, maybe besides Matt Costello. And like I said, it's not like they got out-rebounded. Michigan State led in rebounds. They turned it over 4 more times, and that might have had a little bit something to do with it. But the fact of the matter is, when you got a team shooting about 58% from 3, it's hard to beat that team. And ended up getting monumentally upset because of it. So that concludes my video, and another video about March Madness, and just a few things I wanted to wrap up about day 1. It's been an extremely entertaining tournament so far. March Madness, one of my favorite times of the year. So most of you guys know, probably can tell from my videos, I'm a huge sports fan. It's a great time of year for sports. You got hockey, basketball in the prime of their seasons, baseball right around the corner. I got the Olympics coming up this summer, and March Madness for another couple weeks. So, I believe another 2 weeks. So, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you have not seen my round of 32 predictions yet, I'll put the link to that in the description below. It'll also probably be in the outro. So, that's pretty much it. So, I will not be doing that many videos this coming week. Probably will be doing my bracketology, or just my overall bracket picks, and that's about it. But today I wanted to come back with my next edition of my NBA mock draft. I did one like a month ago, and obviously some things have changed, and mainly I wanted to do one to conclude